Let's explain what Disney wants us to believe and why it's working. At your Fire and Peace and Blessings, this is Derric Kumar. And I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about this movie. I don't want to spend a whole lot of time talking about the obvious. Because plenty of people have gone ahead and they've broken it down. We're going to mention it, we're going to hit it, but we're going to keep going, okay? Because we want to look at this from a occult perspective, and we want to see really what is it that they're trying to tell us. You know, what are they trying to go ahead and program us up, all right? So there's going to be some spoilers in here. I'm not going to even review the whole thing. I'm just, like I said, just hit the parts that stuck out, okay? That being said, like I said, there's going to be some spoilers, so I'm going to give you a minute to go ahead and deal with that. Okay, minute's over. All right. So, first of all, if you're new to the channel, if you're new to this whole thing of dealing with the occult or any of that kind of stuff, basically, TV and movies are how they program society. This is how they inform society. The way a program works is if the movie goes ahead and if the movie or the what do you call it, the movie or the commercial or whatever, or TV or program, if it basically is played, it doesn't matter so much what you consciously believe. Your subconscious will accept it if you don't put it in check. Okay, so to give you an example of how programs work, especially within our community, all right, and like I said, this is all over, okay, this is all over, but you know, just give you an example of how it works. Back in the 80s and 90s, a lot of African Americans, black people, basically went to historical black colleges and universities. Okay, in fact, there was an enrollment, a jump in enrollment of people who went to, who graduated from these historical black colleges and universities, these HBCUs. That was mainly due to the Cosby Show. Okay, the Cosby Show and the spinoff, A Different World. Okay, because in the Cosby Show, they always, who was it? They were always wearing sweatshirts of the University of Spelman and Hampton, and they always had these, had this on, and they talked about it. And then the spinoff show actually dealt with the entire college life experience, okay, of, young black men and women who attended HBCUs, okay? And that's what it was about. So this is how programs work. It doesn't matter what you think, okay? If you don't check it in, if you're not watching out for it, the program will go ahead and go across, and it influences your behavior. All right. Now that's how programs work. Okay. And there's plenty of other ways. We can talk about the positives. We can talk about the negatives. The negatives. I'll give you an example of the negatives. I can't remember the guy's name. They would show it on. I remember they showed it on the History Channel. But there's a movie called The Birth of a Nation. And we're not talking about Nate Parker's Birth of a Nation. We're talking about The Birth of a Nation, which basically, popularized and glorified the Klan, okay, the KKK, and it had all kind of racist tropes in there, to the point that people were saying back during that time, oh, this was a great movie, okay, and like I said, this is what it basically, it went ahead and it glorified the Klan, and as a result of this movie, there was an enrollment. There was a sharp, enrollment back in the Klan, okay, of people of the KKK, and it became popularized again. All right, so like I said, that's how programs work. Okay, that's how programs work. So this movie comes out. This movie Black Panther comes out, and first of all, the reason why a lot of people went in here and they're saying, oh God, this was the reason why there's so many mixed views about this movie is because a lot of us, a lot of people, and I'm talking about people all over, a lot of people are, we're kind of familiar with, we sense that there's something going on, okay? We sense that there's a program. And it's to the point that subconsciously, consciously, we're looking at this saying, yeah, we're like, something ain't right. We can see it. We can feel it, okay? And that's the reason why there's so many mixed reviews. Because if it's a good film, if it's a good program, you won't even recognize it, okay? Think about it. When the Matrix came out, the first Matrix, okay? When the first Matrix came out, everybody was on board about how great of a movie this was. And it wasn't until later on people were like, oh, this is what that means, and this and that and the other. Because the program was the way they wrote the movie, the way they directed and everything, the program was easily accepted into the subconscious. This movie is not that way, okay? This movie is not easily accepted into the subconscious because we are familiar with the program, okay? It's like people literally are like consciously looking at it like, I can't believe they're doing this. That's the reason why it comes across as a bad movie, okay? So think about movies that have a good program, okay? The Wizard of Oz. A great movie with a program, okay? Great program. Most of the movies that come across and you say, oh, this is a good movie, that's why it's a good movie, because the program was so good that it just went right past your subconscious and you didn't even, it's supposed to go past your conscious, but it goes right past your conscious, or it goes right past the filter and is accepted into your subconscious. And this film is not doing that, okay? Now, there's a couple of reasons why this film is not doing it. First of all, I'm not sure if it was, the whole Chadwick Boseman, his death, okay? I think this is what kind of threw the monkey wrench in there, and this is the reason why they weren't able to actually do the program the way they wanted to. But they were heading in this direction, okay? They were heading in this direction. As a lot of people have already said. I can't remember the one brother who said this as well, and I saw his video. But there's a lot of brothers have said this, but a lot of, even the one sister they tried to cancel, they closed down her site because she was like, this is some trash. Even her, she went ahead and she noted this. They killed off all the men in the first movie, okay? They killed off the father, they killed off the uncle, they killed off Killmonger. Okay? There's your main characters right there. There's your main, they were the main ones who had the speaking points, the talking points in the movie. They killed them off. All right? So the only men they have in this movie, which, like I said, everybody's already talked about this, but the only men they had in this movie was the guy who plays the ape guy in Baku, the CIA agent, Everett or whatever, who Shuri keeps calling colonizer, which is a hint, okay? And this guy, the character Namor, who is a conglomerate of Hispanic and Latino cultures of South and Central America. Okay. All right. So let's get into it. In case you didn't know, basically what happens, like I said, they can't go ahead and T'Challa basically has this rare disease that can only be healed by the purple shaped herb, or the purple heart shaped herb that that Killmonger burned in the first one. And he destroyed in the first one, Okay, so as a result, the movie starts off. Shuri's trying to synthesize this. She's trying to, synthesize a herb so she can cure the child of this rare disease. Can't be done, which we already know. So as a result, it was like, next thing you know, the queen basically, Angela Bassett's character basically becomes the queen of the country again. All right, she becomes the head ruler. All right. Okay. Everybody see this matriarchy part, all right? The head ruler, all right? So then after she becomes the ruler, she goes to the UN and she's like, hey, the king went ahead, was like, hey, we gonna share our stuff with y'all, this and that and the other, but now we not doing it. We closing up, okay? We closing up shop. We putting the wall, quote unquote, we putting the wall back around our country, and if you come at us, we gonna blow y'all up. Okay, that's what she says. All right, yeah, paraphrasing. Okay, and she's like, yeah, you come with us, you come for us. I got something for you. Okay, we got this vibranium stuff. We gonna go ahead. We gonna blow y'all off the face of the planet. All right. Basically, her going ahead and doing that now shifts the dynamic. For those of us who know history, she goes ahead and instead of them being, the colonized, they just became the colonizers. Ain't this the same thing the Europeans did? Okay, same thing the Europeans did. But this is where they're going with this. The hint is that Shuri keeps calling the CIA guy, colonizer, my favorite colonizer. Okay. Oh, here's my colonizer. Oh, hey, what's up, my colonizer? Keyword, hey, N-word. What's up, my N-word? Hey, my favorite N-word. Okay. All right. Trying to get y'all to see this is where they're going with this. Okay. They close up the borders of the country, which is dumb because they close up the borders by playing the drums. There ain't no off and on switch to turn on the force field, to turn on the wall. They got to play the drums. Okay. Anyway, we ain't going to talk about that because, I don't know if anybody else caught that was stupid, but it's stupid. But they go ahead and play the drums. They go ahead and they close up the country. But next thing you know, Angela Bassett is up there walking and all that kind of stuff, and they ain't close up the country. And this Hispanic Latino man comes in, dripping wet, comes into the country. And this is the part that they focus on. Angela Bassett, she's like, how did you get over here? And I don't know if my Latino people caught this, because y'all should be mad. All right, what the reference is. Oh, he crossed the river. Okay. Yeah. Anybody know any? Yeah, he crossed the river and he's soaking wet. Now, I'm not even trying. I'm telling you, this is the overt crap they got going on in this. All right. And to show you how they went ahead and they really hitting with this. Oh, it's really about this. It's really about these people who are crossing the river from Mexico. They're not telling you that, but that's really what they're referencing. Okay. I'm going to skip ahead because, like I said, the part, because in order for them to go ahead and kill Namor, what they do is they dry him out. Yeah, I had to pause for a moment. They dry him out. They put on some blowers and they dry him out. There are certain scenes where they keep focusing on his back because his back is wet. Okay? Yeah. I'm not even trying, people. I'm telling you, that's what I'm looking at. I'm like, I can't believe they even went there. And nobody caught this? Few people caught it. few people caught it. Okay. So anyway, because they, like I said, I'm jumping all over the place. Part of the reason why Shuri's trying to go ahead, like I said, she's trying to, synthesize this herb and everything. And again, they can't do it, which results in T'Challa dying. They can't become the Black Panther. All right. But lo and behold, that's right. T'Challa went in here and he was, I forgot what Lupita's character's name was. But yeah, that's right. He used to be hooked up with her. And come to find out, he's a baby daddy. Okay? Again, this is stuff that people have already talked about. He's a baby daddy, and because he's a baby daddy, they got a little kid and everything that's born out of wedlock and everything. All right? Again, references. And they're able to go in here and there's a bracelet, something. They're able to go in here and to synthesize the herb from there. And from there, Shuri's able to become the Black Panther. All right? Okay. So, what's the heart-shaped herb? They're talking about, purple dealing with courage, purple dealing with power. All right? They can't go ahead and get power from the black males naturally, so they have to synthesize it. Isn't that a reflection of what's going on right now? Okay? So they have to synthesize this. She basically is going ahead and creating, she's basically going ahead and she's creating manhood. That's what they're trying to do. This is what they're pushing. Okay? So, because, hey, remember, this is an all-female society now. They only got 3 male characters in this movie. So it's an all-female society. This is what they're trying to get. They're trying to get your subconscious to buy into. It's an all-female society, and you can do bad by yourself. You don't need no man. All you need is a synthesized essence of the man. All right? So like I said, that's the obvious part. That's the obvious. Like I said, Shuri goes ahead and because now she's able to go ahead and synthesize this herb and become the Black Panther, she's able to get with Namor. And she's getting with him and all that kind of stuff. And then that's when it dawns on, hey, let's go ahead, let's dry him out. Let's put him in the desert. And yes, they use that reference too. Okay, like I said, Latinos should be upset. They should really be upset with Disney with this. Okay, But anyway, they put him in the desert. They're gonna dry him out, and this is how they decide. Hey, this is how we're gonna defeat him. We're gonna dry him out. Okay, literally dry him out of all the water that's in him. All right. After she goes in here and they do all that and all that kind of stuff, you see what's going on. When we look at it, a lot of people who are basically saying, hey, this is good, this is a good movie, that's because they're surface dwellers. They're looking at it from the surface. They and most of the people, the interesting thing that I found, because I went ahead and I talked to, a few of my nieces and everything, they thought the movie was great. Oh, it's a great movie. And when I stepped back and I looked at it, why would they say it's a great movie? Oh, that's right. Because they're children. And children don't see overt things like this. They don't see overt symbolism. They don't understand any of this. They're children. Now, I'm not saying the people who went ahead and liked the movie that's their mindset, but I am saying for the most part, that's who they're programming. They're focusing on programming our children. Now, but But focus on programming our children what? Well, the impression I got was that by them going ahead and, I'm not sure if I told you, they killed off Angela Bassett's character as well. So by them going ahead and killing off all the old heads, okay, including Angela Bassett, because she still represents the old head, even though she's a matriarch, and she's like, hey, she's part of this whole new feminine society, okay? She still represents, she's still an old head. She's still about the old traditional ways. She's still about those conservative traditional ways. And they kill her off, okay? There's no men in there except for the CIA guy and M'Baku. So basically, like I said, this is the obvious. M'Baku's role is reduced because basically he represents that small minority, quote unquote minority, that they trying to get people to think that are the real men. Okay, the real brothers who basically are taking care of business, taking care of their family and all that kind of stuff. The real brothers who are actually doing things. They supposedly, okay, they're trying to go ahead and minimize our role. All right. The person who they're trying to bring in is Namor. Yeah, this, here you got your Hispanic Latinos coming in, who are crossing over the river. They're crossing. Every time I think about that, I'm like, wow, okay. But they're crossing over the river. They got a border up, but they crossing over into our technological country. Our technologically advanced country. They're crossing over, and they're coming over, and they're familiar with our language and everything. Okay? So, what I'm getting at, I don't know why they're pushing this, but what I'm getting at and what I'm saying is, it's like they're trying to go ahead and start something between blacks and Latinos, because they know we all feel that same way, and there's plenty of black and Latinos, and in other parts of the country, everybody's getting along, except for them. So let's go ahead and let's start some mess up between blacks and Latinos. Now, some of that is already existing, okay? But is it me? The only person who can get with them, because M'Baku couldn't get with them, that ape guy, he couldn't get with them, but Namor is the only one who can actually get with these black women. He was the only one who can actually go ahead. First of all, he can get past their technology, he can get past all their other stuff, but she's the only one who can go ahead and defeat him. So that's what I see in it. Okay, that's what I saw in it, and again, it brought to my attention that the thing that popped off on me was that basically they are trying their best to push this whole thing of there's some kind of conflict between black and Latinos. Okay? Because the black and Latinos are the only ones, which I found interesting, but are the only ones who, according to the movie, the only ones that have the vibranium. Okay? So anyway, that's my take on it. Like I said, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time dealing with it. Hopefully that makes a little bit of sense. I know it's all over the place, and the reason why it's all over the place, because that's what they wanted. There is no main character in this. Everybody is basically scattered brain because it's a reflection of our society presently. Everybody's scattered brain right now. People are just doing things because they're doing it. They're doing it to follow their ego. They're doing it to follow, how they like and how they do things. That's this generation. That's what the millennials are. Again, they killed off everybody. They killed off all the old heads. Anybody who knows of any of the traditional ways. Oh, that's right. Forrest Whitaker was in the first one. Killed him off. The priest. He's been killed off. Okay? Everybody's been killed off. The only people who are basically ruling this country, okay, of Wakanda are woke people. Because they don't have a clue how to do anything. They are technologically advanced, just like the kids are in this society. They know how to do every freaking thing except for think for themselves, which is just like most of the kids are in this society. Okay? So, that's what they're pushing. And hopefully, you know, like I said, if you got a difference in opinion, you gotta, you know, I will love to share it with you. Okay? Like I said, didn't want to deal with the obvious because everybody's dealt with it. But that's it. Okay? So, until next time, fam, we'll talk to y'all later. Thanks again for liking, sharing, and subscribing. Talk to y'all later. Heads bro. Peace.
No pretending, baby.